Now, with me is Talha Ahsan. His brother, Talha Ahsan, is one of 5 terror suspects who lost their battle against extradition from the United Kingdom to the United States. He's been talking about his brother, who's a Category A prisoner in Long Lartin in Evesham in Worcestershire. He faces a prospect, if the extradition goes ahead, of spending, if he's found guilty, many years in a supermax where he would basically find himself in solitary confinement. So that is, contact with absolutely no one. I was reading about this ADX Florence in the United States, Hamja, and it's quite a brutal regime.
It's an extremely brutal regime, and this is prior to a trial. It'd be 3 years pre-trial solitary confinement. I urge everyone with utmost, because these are the first few cases, and then after Talha and Baba, who's next? That's why we should do our utmost to ensure they don't get extradited. And we haven't lost yet, because we've actually we've lodged an appeal to the Grand Chamber. So
why do you have no faith in the American justice system? People face the courts in America day in, day out, and people aren't sort of saying, listen, that was biased because he was a Muslim or he was black, etc. Obviously, there are some allegations. But why do you have no faith whatsoever in the American judiciary?
It's not just me, actually. 97% of cases, federal cases in America, plead guilty, for example. And if we look at the case of Guantanamo Bay and Bradley Manning, there's been, clear abuses of the American Constitution.
That is your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have no faith whatsoever. Okay, let's go to Fiona, who's in Bristol. Fiona, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Naresh. How are you doing?
I'm very well indeed. Thank you very, very much indeed for calling in. I do appreciate it. Hamja is here. Feel free to have a chat with him.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hi.
Hi, Hamza. How's it going?
I don't know how to answer questions like that anymore.
Yeah, that's okay, man. That's fine. I guess I'm just yeah. I just want to say complete love and solidarity to you and all your family. I've just listened in. I never ever call in on radio shows or anything, but I just tuned in and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing at all. I think it's completely wrong. Not when Naresh, when you were asking, does your brother have strong opinions and stuff like that? I just think, how can we be at a stage where we're criminalising political opinion, in any way? I think that's completely wrong. And some of the things going on in this world are really messed up, and it's completely wrong to judge anyone without a fair trial. That's the basic, thing that just should happen. And I think there is complete bias in these court processes. I have no faith in them at all whatsoever myself, and I think these countries just project their ideals onto other places by force. And I just complete love with you, and man, I just...
Fiona, you have no faith in the American justice system. People are in the courts day in, day out, and no one is sort of saying, they're prejudiced, etc. But are you simply saying to me that a Muslim individual deemed to be a terror suspect will not face justice?
I'm saying that basically the reason why I've called in today is because I can hear you saying but that's what people at home are thinking. That's what people at home are thinking, and I was just shouting out in my heart that is not what I am thinking. Okay, Fiona, what
I always do is, and I absolutely respect your opinions, and listen, I think it's absolutely wonderful that you've rung in. I really appreciate that. But there are always going to be individuals on the other side, and we've always got to put their side of the story across as well to people like Hamja. I've been chatting to him in the studio for while the music has been on as well. But it's always good to reflect. But there will be some people, there will be a number of people out there who will say, hold on, the Americans surely must have a case. Why would they pursue this man from Tooting in South London, if there wasn't a case to answer?
Well, let me tell you, there's no... unless there is a fair trial, there's no reason to even speculate until that happens, because the way that they're treating this person is completely abhorrent. And the very fact that people see these charges are so serious and oh my god, and look at this stuff, but have complete faith in a bureaucratic system that is... America is at war with more countries than any other country in the world and kill innocent people, I'm sure, every single day.
But a lot of people would absolutely disagree with that. Some people will say that, and listen, this isn't my opinion, but people that I've been speaking to when we researched the program, that, some people actually believe in what America's doing in Afghanistan, etc. But to say that they're outright killing, innocent individuals, is that right? Is that fact?
Yeah, completely. Of course they do. That's how they've got to where they are, is through the oppression of people. And I do. I feel very, very strongly about it. And we can clearly see from this example, it's not fair, and something really needs to be done, because they're not listening. I don't believe that they will ever listen.
Right.
And I completely understand this need for a fair trial, but you know what? I'm not even sure if there's such a thing, but live and strength, like...
That's your opinion. But thank you very much, Fiona. Listen, it's the first time you've called up. Please make sure you ring up again. But thank you very, very much indeed for taking the time. I do appreciate that. Okay, now let's go to this is text and emails. It says, "Hi Naresh, I believe anybody who has nothing to hide should stand trial. If he has not done anything, then he should go to America to prove them wrong. But first, let's not have double standards. Let Tony Blair and George Bush go and stand trial in Malaysia, where they were charged of war crimes. Why can't we do that?" That's from Mir Abdazim. Thank you very much indeed for your opinions. Here's another one, anonymous. It says, "I have studied the history of the US, from the massacres of Native Americans to the brutality inflicted upon the African American slaves, then the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Vietnam War, where Agent Orange and Empalm bombs were used to kill its enemy. And what this individual is saying, US is not built on milk and honey." That's from anonymous. So you have got a lot of support, it seems, but there are obviously a lot of people out there who are simply saying that that your brother has to face justice. He must stand trial. But you would agree with that, obviously, wouldn't you?
Look, this is about this is about the 2003 extradition treaty, okay? And to put the case quite simply, right? In 2001, there was a case called Lofty Rayasi, right? And it was an Arab guy accused by America of plotting in 9/11. Now, we found him in 2001. You had to provide evidence before a court of law. Now, the UK system found that there was no evidence, and also, he was completely innocent. And now the Home Office are paying him £2 million, and even the Daily Mail did.
Sorry, I don't know about the Daily Mail, so we won't go into points about that.
Sure.
But Lofty Reis, he was the individual who was a pilot. I know him because I've covered his story, and I met him and I've interviewed him. But quite simply, he was alleged to be involved in the in 9/11, and subsequently tried to extradite him. It didn't happen, and then obviously he's claimed that he was treated very, very badly. But with your brother now, how do you see what's going to happen? Have you any optimism whatsoever that he will face a British court?
This is a miscarriage of justice, and that's how that's how it should be treated. And since Labour Party are now backing Baba Ahmed's and Talha Ahsan's right to fair UK trial.
So you've had individuals within the Labour Party who are supporting you now?
Sadiq Khan, who's our local MP, does support that. He's also the Shadow Justice Secretary. And then you have the Green Party.
And that recently happened, from what I hear, from about 24 hours ago, that's recently changed?
Yes, yeah.
So you're an optimist?
I always stay optimistic.
Right, okay. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hamja Ahsan, thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate you taking a lot of time to come here to the BBC Asia Network. Thank you very, very much indeed. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.